Welcome back in the kitchen. Today we're going to look at juicers. Now, there are all these things said about juicers. Certain types are totally useless, other types are the only way to go, but let's just get one thing straight. If you start juicing, almost regardless of what type of juicer you're using, that will help you improve your health or change your diet towards healthier, because every glass of juice you drink that is a replacement for any fizzy, sweet, carbonated beverage is obviously a great step towards more health. That said, there are two types of juicers. So what you get, which is probably a bit cheaper and more prevalent type, is a centrifugal juicer. So a centrifugal juicer, you essentially have a vegetable grater that spins. So as you can see, when this comes into the juicer, the vegetables or fruits will be grated here very finely, and then because everything spins, the juice will be basically strained through the mesh and all the pulp will come out. So a centrifugal juicer is a bit faster, or somewhat faster, and yes, whatever you juice will be oxidized a bit more, but again, even if you lose, say, 5% of nutrients, drinking a glass or two or 5 a day of freshly juiced organic vegetables with a bit of fruit in them will be much better for your health than not doing so. The other type of juicer you get is a masticating juicer. And as you can see, here's an upright standing masticating juicer. Basically what happens here is that when the vegetables and fruits are put into the juicer, it'll mash them up, and then you'll have the juice strained through here. So a masticating juicer is slower, but also gentler, so you most certainly will have less oxidation. And for green leafy things, a masticating juicer is way superior, because if you put, I'll show you in a moment, but if you put something like spinach or parsley in here, the juicer spins at such a high speed that you actually won't juice the green leafy vegetables very much, but you'll just get them or move them into the pulp. Now, but still, again, a centrifugal juicer is still perfectly fine to use. There are a couple of things you should be aware of. One is that you want the opening or the feed tube to be wide enough that you can actually put in whole apples or lemons, or at least you only have to chop them into smaller pieces, but not very small pieces. So here, as you can see, I can easily take half a lemon or whole lemon and fit in there. If I grab part of an apple or whole apple, that would easily fit in here. A quarter head of spring cabbage would go in easily. So make sure, if you have a centrifugal juicer where you can actually get a bigger feed tube, you get one with sufficient space that you won't have to chop everything into very small bits. The other thing with the centrifugal juicer is you want to make sure you have an external pulp collection basket. Otherwise, the pulp will be collected within the juicer, and then you have to turn it off quite often to remove the pulp, in which case it just becomes a nuisance to use and you won't use it. And what makes things a bit easier, the pulp, is if you actually put a small trash bag in the external pulp collection basket to collect the pulp. Of course, I use the recyclable plastic bag here, so this one's biodegradable. When it goes into nature, it'll just break down into CO2 and water. If you have a centrifugal juicer, or not a centrifugal juicer, but a masticating juicer, you'll never get as big a feed tube. That means it will be slower to operate, but you will get a bit more juice out of the vegetables and fruits you juice, and especially the large ones. So just let's look at a comparison of the two in action. So we'll make the same juice on each one, but we'll look at the differences in time, the time it takes, and also in terms of what comes out of the juicer. So we'll do a spring cabbage, lemon, sweet potato, cucumber, apple and ginger juice. So first we'll start with the centrifugal juicer. So as you can hear, more noisy when you turn it on, but also quick. So here, head of cabbage. In fact, I can take the apple, the cucumber, the lemon, put them in at once. Sweet potato, no problem. Ginger, no problem. And the juice is done. So just let it spin a bit more to get the last juice out. What you can do to get the juice sitting in here is just add a bit of water at the end. So as you can see here, quite a nice juice. It smells lovely. Now let's compare it with the masticating juicer. As you can hear, it operates at a much slower speed, for better and worse. Less oxidation, more juice extracted, especially from green leafy vegetables, but that also means more time. So the cucumber, I can't just throw in half a cucumber, whole cucumber. I actually have to throw it, add it in pieces, one after another. And I can't add too much at a time either, or the juicer will actually back up and stop. Same thing with the lemon. Or the apple, and of course everything's organic here, so I'll use the apple with the peel and the pits and so forth. I use the lemon with the peel. As you can see, everything's a bit slower. Same thing with the sweet potato. I can't just throw in half a sweet potato or a quarter of a sweet potato. I have to chop it into smaller pieces. With the ginger. So I'm just going to grab 2 glasses so we can see the difference. So if we look at the difference, here's the same juice from the masticating juicer and the centrifugal juicer. Just stir them thoroughly. So as you can see, they're slightly different in color and also in thickness. As you can see, there's actually a bit more green in here, so with some of the green leafy things like the cabbage, the masticating juice actually did extract a bit more, and it's also a bit thicker. So here with this juice, if I drink it, just taste it, it actually has more fiber or more vegetable matter in there, which makes it a bit thicker. Some people like that, others think, don't like it if it's too thick or not rich is not the right word, but almost a bit too dense. This one's slightly thinner and slightly smoother, but either one tastes brilliant, and either one is a lot healthier than drinking sweet, fizzy, carbonated drinks. So what type of juice is actually more up to you. Depends a bit on how much time you have. If you're a family, you have to make juice for yourself, your spouse, 1, 2 or 3 kids, then a centrifugal juicer is probably a better choice because it's faster. It's faster to use, takes less time to clean, you don't have to chop up things into small pieces beforehand. But if you're just yourself and you have more time, then a masticating juicer will get you a bit more yield, but will also take a bit more time. And again, yes, certainly, as you can see, there are probably a few more nutrients over here from the masticating juicer, but still, whether you drink this or that, if you drink it as a replacement for sweet, sugary, fizzy, carbonated drinks, you've taken a large step towards more health and less illness and dysfunction. Bon appetit!